right. Welcome back. Do apologize. So I'm going to start this from the beginning because, yeah. I'm Dengle, storyteller for this evening, for this chronicle in Atlanta. Joining me is...
Hello, I'm Feyla. I play Tory the Gangrel.
I'm Cocia, and tonight I'll be playing Allison and just a touch of Beth.
Hi, I'm Buttons. I'm usually playing Shiloh the Salubri, but tonight I will also be playing Dr. Sydney.
And I'm Nenavar, and I'm going to play Steven, but tonight I'll be playing Alan.
Yes. So, welcome back to Life in Blood Atlanta. It's a very special night. Mainly because we're playing on a Thursday. But also because we are finishing up individual episodes of sorts. Tonight we are mainly featuring Tory and her happenings with one Mr. Cyril Daniel. It's been a month in the making, give or take, right?
Like a month and a week or two.
Yeah, and Faye is very anxious to get this started. So I'm trying to delay it as much as possible.
I just wanted to play, okay?
I know. No, we're not going to delay it too much. Last week was Steven. Hunters came for the person that Steven was meeting with, so that's fun. Everybody got text messages and all sorts of fun stuff. However, we're not quite there with Tory yet. Earlier in the evening, Tory, you, as said before, you show up in the Flying Banana, as we have, or well, as I have named it, big, bright yellow Subaru. You were greeted at the front door by an individual. They take you down to the basement. Before we really get started, can I get you to make me a rouse check, please?
Blank.
This is fun. So that brings you to 2 hunger? Okay.
Yes, 2 hunger.
It is. Good. Now, to get into this, the individual that you're in the elevator with kind of turns to you and is like, so we appreciate you coming out and speaking with us. We've got a lot to show you. I feel like this is something that you would be moderately interested in, given your medical background, from what I understand, correct?
Potentially. Not sure how much is aware of that. Surprised that he knows that. So, potentially.
Oh, it was just information gathered from the Thin Bloods that we have been working with. Just minor things, not... We assume like a nurse or something. We don't really care, to be honest with you. We just know that you have a medical background and you can patch people up as needed. So, and right then the elevator dings and the doors come open and you are first hit with a very strong smell of industrial grade sanitizer. This place down here seems to be extremely sterile. And you look down and it's a well-lit white hallway. There's stainless steel doors lining each side. And it's like, if you would please follow me. We are gathering kind of an itinerary we'll kind of go over with you to show you what all's going to be going on.
An itinerary. That's a lot of stuff, apparently. Okay.
Yes. And it's more so we can prepare you for what you're going to see. There's quite a few things down here that we're not sure how well versed you are in some of this stuff. So we just want to make sure that you're mentally prepared. And he kind of walks down and kind of directs you into the fourth door on the right.
Go in.
Once inside, it's actually a small auditorium. The front has one of the smart boards. And he's like, just take a seat wherever. You're going to be in here with a couple of our temporary contract workers. They do maintenance. We make sure that whatever they see, they don't remember as they leave. They just remember they came to work. So we have that part covered. However, giving a general, like, go here, don't go here, you'll be in the restricted sections, but we still need to do the orientation.
Sure.
And so you take a seat, and about 5 minutes later, a couple of younger guys come walking in. They're in just plain white coveralls. They kind of give you a weird look of like, you're not dressed like us. Like, I thought that you're supposed to, but they don't question too much. You all sit down, and it's about 15-minute orientation of like where to go, where not to go, where is restricted, where requires like a clean room, wash down type idea, and like decontamination. And then the person that's been escorting you this entire time kind of hands out badges. And he's like, you two, you have general access badges. They won't allow you into the restricted areas. Miss Tory, on the other hand, you have a restricted badge. You are allowed into the restricted areas, however, you are not allowed into the manufacturing areas. That's not the reason why you're here.
Fair enough.
And he kind of looks at the other two and he's like, you two can get to work. Your shop should be end of the hallway, hang a right, and down toward the end of the hallway you should see a maintenance door. Now, Tory, if you would, again, please follow me. I'm going to take you where we need you. And the two individuals kind of leave and takes you out directly across the hall. And he's like, just try to scan your badge for me and just make sure it works.
Scan the badge.
Yeah, works just fine. Door kind of pops open, and you look inside, and it's a pitch black room. He kind of swings the door open, steps inside. Do you join and like do dark vision type thing, or are you just gonna step inside?
Step inside, give it a second to see if he's actually going to turn lights on.
Okay. You step inside and he closes the door behind you, and once he closes the door, lights pop on. You see you are kind of in a staging area. There are like Tyvek suits on the wall. There's rubber boots, and he's like, if you want to change, you by all means can. You theoretically shouldn't get dirty in here. It's not like a clean room or anything, but given your society, you understand what could be on the floors and such.
Right. If it's preferred, I will. If not, I don't particularly care.
At the very least, if you want to save your shoes from bloodstains, put on the rubber boots.
Yeah, she'd probably do that.
Okay. So you slip on these rubber boots and go through the next door. And immediately, Tory kind of is taken aback. There are cells stacked 3 high for as far as you can see. Not all of the cells are filled. However, a lot of them are. You hear loud banging, guttural, like, grunting, a couple screams. It's like, so, welcome to the facility. Cyril will be meeting us after we get through this area. He tends to not want to come through here very much. He has an aversion to these particular kindred. And he kind of walks down. Yes, and he walks down through with you. It's like, how much do you know about when one loses themselves to what you all call the beast inside of you?
I'm sure I've seen it once or twice.
So you understand I believe you guys call it white.
Yes.
Process. We have roughly 35 of them in this facility, specifically in this room.
That sounds very dangerous. How did you get so many whites?
Cyril is very good at making things stop moving. Him and a couple of our security contractors can kind of take care of one of these fairly easily. However,
if they pass one of the whites on the bottom, Tory will just kind of stop and stare at it for a minute. Doesn't really matter what it is, just kind of taken aback.
Yeah. You do eventually come up to one on the bottom row. And it is currently like huddled in a corner, and it sees you, and you just hear it kind of start growling a little bit. And the person escorting you kind of stops and stares at it. And it like gets up like yeah. It gets up and starts walking toward the front of the cage. Knowing full well it can't actually get to you. It just kind of stands at the edge of the cage. And grabs hold of the bars and just kind of starts shaking and just screaming at you.
Do the bars move at all?
No, they are extremely solid.
Well, that's good. At least I'm not afraid that, 30 whites are going to come kill us. Then she'll continue walking.
Oh, no. If one of them gets free, we have a automatic decontamination process. If you would look down for me, and as you look down, you see very small holes in the floor. Each one of those holes will put out high pressure, petroleum product. gasoline. Then we have a oxidizer that comes from the ceiling. Makes a flash burn. We'll neutralize everything in here. Doesn't matter if it's a white or it's a human or werewolf or whatever it is. They're not going to be moving after.
Have you had to do that?
No, not yet. Most of these in here are not fed enough to be dangerous. There is one in here that we do keep better fed, however. They're also more secure. For whatever reason, Cyril specifically wants that one to be taken care of.
Interesting. I have questions, but I assume they will be answered at some point.
I would ask him those questions if I assume my suspicions are correct. However, and he kind of starts walking again. Not all of these were roaming about the city. Some of them were made here.
I assumed as much.
Yes. Our reason for being here is to see if we can bring kindred back from this state. I'm actually going to hand you off to a couple of our research assistants very shortly, as well as our lead psychiatric. I don't know what she wants to call herself nowadays, but psychiatrist. She does mental stuff. I don't know. I do paperwork. I do procurement. I do coordination. Once you're done with them, Cyril will come grab you. However, proceed through those double doors, and they will take you with them as you see, or as they see fit. And he kind of stops and directs you through a couple of doors.
I'm guessing I don't have to worry about this becoming my fate if I walk through those doors, correct?
I don't believe that you're close enough personally. I mean, you don't seem to be. You seem to be more
well,
human.
You said not all of them were found wandering, so I assume that something happened to them.
Yes, we will cover that. And, well, I'll let Cyril cover that specifically. But I have some work I have to take care of, and I have to check on those two individuals that came in with you. Make sure that they're actually doing the job properly. So I will bid you good day, or good evening. And I will get you hopefully before morning. If I don't see you before then we'll make sure that you're well taken care of and you have a secure place to sleep without possibility of harm.
Right. Just kind of stare at him for a minute like, should I trust you? Should I not trust you? She will eventually walk towards the doors.
Okay, when you start walking toward the doors, he walks back out. You walk inside, and there are quite a few people in there. However, a couple that stand out to you is... Well, I'm going to let Buttons describe this particular person.
So, the first person that you take notice of has a pretty prominent badge that says Dr. Sydney Sidey, and she stands about average height, about 5'6", with very slicked back black hair tied into a tight low bun, piercing blue eyes, and she's got a thick She's got a set of thick-framed glasses sitting on the bridge of her nose. She's wearing a white lab coat, as are most of the people here. And underneath it are just a very, very simple office attire with black pumps.
Yes, and surrounding Dr. Sydney, you see a couple people with just like normal name tags with like blank badges. One says Allison, one says Alan.
Quick question. Does Tory's say just Tory on it, or does it actually have her name?
It is another one of those blank ones. However, it does have a small sticker on it. You're not 100% sure what the sticker means because nobody else's has it, but it has a small sticker on it.
Okay. Approach them if they aren't approaching her, I guess.
Oh, you must be our visitor for the evening. Welcome.
Hello. I suppose I am.
I'm Dr. Sydney.
Tory.
And I'm Alan.
I'm sure you're aware, but we don't get many visitors. So this will be quite the interesting evening, I assume.
Given what I have seen, I would imagine you didn't.
All very hush-hush information.
Oh, it's not. Well, yes, it is. But we're free to answer any questions you have. Although I'm sure it was explained to you that Mr. Cyril will probably be able to answer most of them a lot better than we could, but...
More than likely.
So, where would you like to start?
I assume he will fully give me the reasoning I am here. Why am I meeting with you?
An excellent question. Well, I happen to be the lead psychiatrist on this project. I'm sure they gave you the basic rundown of what we're trying to do? Yes?
Bring kindred back from being whites.
Indeed. It's been a very intensive process so far, as I'm sure you can imagine. A lot of setbacks.
How close have you gotten? So you haven't?
Cyril doesn't really like to talk about mistakes too much, but I will admit not nearly as close as we would have liked.
And I am not Cyril, and I am asking how close you've gotten.
There was one subject, we thought we almost had it. Just as we thought she might be becoming lucid again, something in her snapped and sent her back. All that progress wasted.
Interesting. Was it one of the more intelligent ones?
Forgive me, I'd have to check my records for the specifics, but I believe so. It was either she was one of the more intelligent ones or one of the more willful ones. I can't quite remember.
Interesting. Because at that point it would be the beast running things. So that was an intelligent beast, not an intelligent person.
Indeed.
At this point, one of the other assistants kind of comes over. Like, Doctor, the file that you were asking for a while ago, I don't know you. I assume that I shouldn't know you. So, if you need anything else, by all means, Allison, Alan, I believe feedings are going to be in about an hour. So just whenever you're ready, let me know, and we'll get things ready.
Great.
Thank you very much.
And they kind of tromp off.
Oh, that'll be interesting. You're going to be here for a feeding. Well then.
Feeding the whites, I assume.
We'll certainly see.
Okay.
And she'll look down at the file real quick.
And it is, in fact, the file of the one that almost came back.
And what's it say in the file? Anything in particular that Tory might be interested in?
Would Tory first off want to read the file?
I mean, she's not going to push if Sydney is holding it. She's a guest here. She doesn't want to overstep anything.
Okay. So as far as the doctor's concerned, the psychiatrist doctor, not the vet doctor, the file basically says that the individual wasn't necessarily the smartest. Prior to the change, however, they did have quite a strong will, and quite a lot of ability to compose themselves. They apparently were part of Clan Bruja.
It looks like my second guess was correct. It was willpower, after all.
What clan was it?
Bruja, apparently.
They're typically known for being fairly close to their beasts. Not as much as Gangrel, but more so than most clans. Might have something to do with it if I had to take a wild guess.
That is a thought.
They tend to be willful, but again, also aggressive, which the beast loves.
Indeed. You'll have to forgive me. I'm still learning my way around your clan politics, so if I seem ignorant or out of the loop, I apologize.
You probably know more than most of the kindred I know.
If that is the case, I pity you.
Me as well, sometimes. Anyway, is there anything else I need to know?
To be completely and totally honest, I'm not entirely sure. You can probably guess that Cyril does not openly communicate with his employees quite as frequently as some of us would like. Shocking, I know, yes. But
Yes.
I'm certainly happy to entertain any questions while we await his arrival.
Well, I assume I'm not going to get the reason why he's interested in doing this. Even if you did know.
I wish I did. Sometimes I think Cyril would make a far better subject than some of the people here.
Let's be honest, it's probably boredom that drives his interest.
I doubt that.
And that doubt would be well placed. Tory, thank you for actually meeting us. I assume that the doctor and our assistants have made you feel welcome.
Absolutely.
So, as stated before, I do apologize first and foremost that I am a bit late. I had something else come up and I had to take care of it. It wasn't anything overly important.
That's fine. I got to pawn off meeting with 2 certain clans and sects in order to come do this, which I would much prefer to do.
Yes, that was part of what I was tending to, was to figure out why the harpy was here, because,
Does whatever contact you have give you an answer?
Nyx did not. They didn't have a whole lot of knowledge as to why. However, when they saw Stephen arrive, they assumed that all was going to be handled. So I do appreciate that.
Yes, well.
Sending somebody capable.
Remains to be seen, however, same clan, so hopefully it will be well enough.
Same bloodline, actually.
Ah, did not know that.
Yeah, no, a couple generations removed, but yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What luck.
Anyway. Yes. Anyway, more to the point. Asking if you enjoyed the the containment room is probably a no, I assume.
No, hearing people or things scream and try to escape is always a little bit disconcerting. Probably bothered me less than most it would, though.
I assure you, everything in that room, unless if deliberately sabotaged, will never escape. And even if it is sabotaged, it won't make it out of the room, I promise you.
So I hear, and I would very much hope not, because that would be very bad for everybody here.
Exactly.
In Atlanta itself.
Exactly. And I do... care for isn't necessarily the correct term. However, I do want to take care of the workers here. They've done me well, and they work hard, and I appreciate a good doctor here and her assistants. We're actually going to be moving the feeding up a little bit. Just so you can be present and watch before we go and have our other conversations. Specifically, I want you to witness one specific feeding. I know it's a bit odd, but feel like it's needed in this particular instance.
Needed.
Yeah, so you can understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. Most kindred probably don't even want to mess with a white. The fact that I
No,
want
they
try
tend to be very dangerous.
Yes, and the fact that I want to fix them, you probably want a reason behind it.
It is odd.
Yes. So, if you would please, and he kind of motions to another elevator.
She would go.
Allison, Alan, go ahead and actually come with us. And you can do top floor. It's the easiest.
You got it, boss.
Alright.
And the four of you get in the elevator and pushes number 3. Goes to the top floor, and it's just a big open grate. And you see the cells in here are a bit beefier. One at the far end is markedly different than the rest. And he's like, that's where we're going, and you two, if you would just take care of everybody else, I'll take care of that one personally. And he kind of reaches over to the wall, and he picks up like a box. You can hear inside something's moving around. Exactly what's moving around, you're not 100% sure, but you would assume that it's like either rats or chickens or something.
So what's different with these ones?
These are the more dangerous individuals. Not necessarily now, but these kindred when they were more in
Aware?
control of themselves. Yes. Were particularly dangerous. The one off to our right, it's the first one, that is a Nosferatu from the 5th century AD. They've been around quite a while. Picked that one up in, I believe, Pittsburgh. The one next to it is a gangrel from, I believe, right around the time of Jesus. Again, quite old.
Quite the collection you have here, apparently.
This wasn't my... I didn't start this.
Inherited from your sire.
Yes. And speaking of, and you approach the far end to the very special cell. And he slides a metal door over, and you see multiple layers of plexiglass. And you see an individual at this point that is in like tattered rags. He has very long, skinny, thin limbs. His eyes are sunken in. You can see every single bone on his spine. Not only because of how skinny and gaunt he is, but at some point you would assume that he was a Samitsi, because there are large spikes coming out of it. And I was like, this was my sire at one point. I cannot bring myself to remove them from this state.
Okay. And this is who you're trying to fix?
Ideally, yes.
Why?
Because they're better at this than I am. However, they enjoy the taste of kindred vitae a bit too much. which is how
As
they
in
ended
rampantly attacking people? Kindred?
That would be their preferred feeding method.
Right.
After a certain point, they couldn't stop. When they started going down the road, it kind of progressed a bit too much for them.
I see.
And he kind of opens up another slot and shoves the box in, closes it, and you see a conveyor bring it in and like drop the box. The figure kind of stands up, turns around, opens its mouth. You assume that it like snarled or growled or like did something at you. Goes over, rips the box open, and then like one fell swoop, they grab whatever was in the box and just destroy it. Feeding off the blood that is available. And now we have this.
Is it dark in here, or is it light enough to see?
There is one like LED light that goes across the center of the cell. So it's light enough to see. It's not overly bright, though.
Okay. And you're feeding him animals now?
It's not the best way to feed. However, it keeps them alive.
Does it, though? After a while, animals tend to not be enough.
It's been working so far. Haven't went to torpor or ashed yet. There will be, however, be a certain point that this will be all for naught, because they'll expire at some point. And I know that animals aren't enough. I do supplement occasionally with other, but I tend to try to hold that back for the simple fact of I don't want them to be overly strong.
That's understandable.
Now, this all being said, I would like your help.
What in the world would you need my help for? You seem to have a very good operation going here.
Correct. However, I would like an outside look at things. You have certainly not a bad mind for this type of work. Not necessarily the psychological side of it, but if we can alter vitae, or if we can figure out some sort of physiological way to like sedate them long enough that we can go in and actually check on them.
You realize I was a veterinarian, not a mortal doctor.
It's fine. The mortal doctor doesn't quite fit us either. So we're all taking shots in the dark, as it were.
Fair enough.
Also, if you are willing to attempt to help us, I may be able to help you with getting fed yourself. I'm not sure exactly what your feeding habits are. However, I have plenty of people here that are more than willing and able to give it to you. And if you tend to like to feed off of us, I have, well, we can figure something out as far as that's concerned. I'm sure whites are acceptable to feed off.
And what are your thoughts on that? Obviously, you don't agree with your sire's method of eating.
Oh no, it's not that I don't agree with it. I just moderation is all. I'm not saying that I haven't before, because I absolutely have. However, moderation, knowing when to stop, is the key to that.
Indeed. We'll see about that when it comes to it.
Right. Speaking of Jacoby.
Yes.
Whatever happened to that one?
Not around anymore.
I understand that, but did you burn him? Did you put him out in the sun? Did you stake him and throw him at the bottom of the ocean? Did you imbibe?
Doesn't matter what I did.
No, but I would like to know exactly what I'm working with.
You know my history. What do you think I did?
I assume you personally took care of the issue without fire or sunlight or staking or any of that nonsense.
I did.
Is this, and obviously you don't have to answer this particular question, but is this something that you enjoy doing, or is this just a means to an end?
I cannot deny that there is a small rush, obviously, that comes with that. I don't know if you've done that before. It's not something I overly enjoy doing, no.
I haven't made somebody meet the final death through it, however. Vitae tastes a little bit sweeter.
It does.
Which is the other part of the reason why I keep them here. This keeps me fed as I like.
Yes, it is rather difficult without, I assume, this.
Yes, and it's taken me quite a while to get this. Now, I assume you won't tell anybody of that particular nature of myself.
If I did, you have that ammunition in return.
Exactly. And let's be honest here, if we're outside of Camarilla territory, most anarchs don't care.
The ones around here seem to, or at least the barons that I've spoken with. Most of them, at least. Or hinted towards it.
3 were ex-Camarilla, and 1 is a more humane individual that doesn't fully understand the darkness of our society.
Yes, was very quickly realizing that.
We'll, however, say that 2 of the 3 seem to have left the Camarilla behind properly. One of them, I question where their loyalties lie, but I believe their loyalties lie with themselves.
Assuming we're thinking of the same person, yes. Not sure about one of them. They seem to hold the questionable one in high regards.
that is more so to do with a sense of honor and respecting your elders, I believe. But again, I could be wrong. That would be 100% conjecture, but
I have not spent much time with them, and nor probably will I. The Camarilla teachings run deep.
They do, unfortunately. That one, however, I believe never really grasped the Camarilla fully.
He's young still. That can be changed, but hard to say what's the Ventru and hard to say what's the teachings.
Yes. Anyway, and he kind of steps back from the door, slides it closed at this point. The other part of this, as you've been told, not all of them were captured, some were made here.
Yes, and I have to question if that was going to end up my fate walking into this. Hopefully not.
Not unless if you want to take a crack at how they end up as such.
And what would that be?
Funny you should ask. And he kind of walks back to the elevator with you. I have in my possession something from the individuals that I work for. The ones that fund most of this. As I've told you before, I don't work for who you would expect.
Yes, I have been wondering about that.
From your... Just out of curiosity, who do you think I work for?
I'm not quite sure. My expectations would have been either the Camarilla, which obviously is not, or potentially the Sabbat, but this seems too intricate for most of these Sabbat clans that I'm aware of.
Well, happy to tell you that neither of those are who I work for.
I assumed as much, so I don't know too many other ones. But I have been alone most of the time, so...
That is fair. So, the ones that are left are some odd Baron, which obviously is not the case here at the very least. And it'd be odd for a Baron outside of the city to have a reason to put me here. Some independent kindred that is very old, which I tend not to deal with unless I have to. Or how much do you know about the followers of Set?
I think we've established that Tory does not know much, right?
Much, if any. No.
I think I've heard of them, but that's about it.
Okay. So you don't necessarily have any positive or negative connotations to that?
No.
Happy to tell you that I'm not with the true followers of Set. I am with the... I believe nowadays it'd be called the counterculture for them. The Serpents of Light is what they call themselves.
I can't say I've heard of that.
I would assume not. I knew of them. I, in my younger years, kind of wrote them off as a fad that would be destroyed at some point in my own life. But, hasn't happened yet, and I believe they're working on it. Working on what they actually wanted. Anyway, more to the point. Their entire thing is, you know of Book of Nod and Gehenna and the prophecies, yes?
Oh yes, I was made very aware of them.
And you know, well, obviously you were Sabbat, so you know that the antediluvians are to come back and destroy all of the younger generations and all that fun stuff. Or the, yeah.
There are quite a few thin bloods here.
Right. That is... don't want to necessarily say partly my fault, however, that there is a reason behind it. And he pushes a button, and it's like a random button that's not labeled.
And
like,
let me guess, it has something to do with that video feed you showed me.
That would be a great guess. See, you are very smart. Now, and the floors keep ticking down. What I'm going to show you, I recommend not necessarily getting overly close. The individual is, we believe, in torpor.
You believe? So you're not sure?
Correct. We haven't fed them in roughly 6 months, so we hope that they're still in torpor.
Why are you keeping an antediluvian?
Because where else would you?
Kill
and they're not
them?
technically. See, that's the thing. Rather than outright kill them, it would be better to use them, correct?
Do you honestly think you can control an antediluvian?
We've been doing decently so far.
Right, and what have you been making him do? Them do?
Stay put. Which is the main thing.
That's your whole goal with them? Just make them stay put and keep them alive?
Not let them meet final death until we can figure out how to use them or eat them. That, however, is the issue, and how we have dealt with whites upstairs. I'm sure you know that the process that is set forth is usually one where if an individual is to try to eat another, there is a possibility that the mental state and the mental space transfers from one to the other.
Yes, I am intimately aware of the repercussions of that.
Turns out that this particular one, if the process is not followed through properly, keeps their own body and drains the other of their humanity, creating a white. It has been 6 months since we have tried that process. The last one was a thin blood that decided that they would try without permission. At which point we moved this individual down here.
Have you only tried with the younger generations?
Not just the younger generation. Nobody quite as old as I am, but I am a bit older than a lot nowadays. I was born into this world in, I believe it was 1873. I've been around for quite a while.
Apparently.
I believe the oldest that we have dealt with was one from the 1930s. It is hard to get older than that.
Actual age is different than generations, though. What generations have you?
I don't know. I don't possess those capabilities of telling what generation somebody is, or things of that nature. I know it is hard to get ones of lower generation to agree to such a undertaking.
Right. Most of them know better.
Right. And I'm not going to ask you to do this. Actually, I will ask you not to do this.
I would hope not. My answer would absolutely and unequivocally be no.
I am, however, asking you to try to help me find somebody that would be willing to. Potentially. Now, that being said, I'm going to give it another 6 months. If we cannot find somebody, then we will take care of the issue. I'm not willing to keep them around for too much longer, given the possibilities.
Right. So is the goal of the sect you are part of to actually end them, or use them in what way?
Gain a fraction of their power. Not necessarily the entire thing, because it would involve many lines of diablerie, and that's just a big mess. However, if we can take somebody and raise them just a little bit, take them from 13th, 12th, 11th generation, put them to 10th or 9th, if given the proper person, that would at least allow us to not waste what is there. We want to replace the old with the young. We understand specifically that the elders and the Methuselah and all of that, the reason why they can't be allowed around anymore is because they're set in their ways, and sometimes you need a new slate to further society.
And what is the goal with furthering these plans? What society do they want to build?
One that we can actually survive in. One that we're not fighting ourselves. One that we can go into any city. And at least among kindred, be welcomed, rather than, well, you don't belong to Camarilla, or you don't belong to the Sabbat, or you don't belong to whatever. So you're immediately shunned, or hunted, or even killed. Regardless of clan, regardless of generation, regardless of sect, regardless of anything.
I was independent for many years and only very recently became an anarch. So I understand that to a point. Is it different for your sect? Or because sects typically imply there's large groups of them.
That would apply to... Really, they're not... They are a sect, but they aren't. They are technically a clan of them, their own. However, they will bring in others, regardless of clan. Much like the Sabbat wanted to be at one point. That's what they strive for. Are they perfect? By no means are they perfect. However, if they can bring in an old Samitsi and teach them their ways and give him the tools to do this, they won't turn away a Gangrel. They won't turn away a Bruja. They won't turn away a La Sombra. They won't turn away Smeetsy. They won't turn away anything. Unlike Camarilla.
The Camarilla has their own set of problems outside of what clans they do and do not accept in their ranks.
Exactly, and the problems stem from the elders and the ones at the top. We wish to remove those individuals.
And just have complete actual anarchy? Because we saw how that went with the Sabbat.
No, I wouldn't necessarily say full anarchy. However, more self-governed, much like the anarch state. Because there has to be leaders.
Of course.
There has to be something that people can rally under. I don't want to be that by any means, unless if some extenuating circumstance, I don't ever really plan on doing that. However, I would be willing to facilitate this.
Facilitate what?
Bringing about that at a, even if it's not a global level, if it's a regional level to begin with. The Anarchs have an issue of they can't unite under a single banner. The Camarilla have an issue of they won't take action. They're stuck in old ways. They won't even use technology. And well, I understand that to a certain extent. The world that we live in now is absolutely, it's a required thing. And the SWAT, they have no structure really. I mean, they do, but the small packs here and there, taking orders from a person that may not be fully sane in and of itself. I mean, I don't have to tell you, it's not necessarily the best structure.
All of that aside, you want my help finding someone to build up to be able to take part of this power?
Potentially.
Are we still going down in the elevator, or has it stopped when we walked out?
At this point, it would have stopped.
So walking out or just standing there? I'm confused.
Yeah, no, you would have at least stepped out.
Okay.
You are muted.
I know a decent number of kindred, but I don't know of any who would risk themselves for something like this.
And that is the issue that we run into. The ones that are ambitious enough or too young, not powerful enough to be able to pull it off, and the ones that can pull it off aren't ambitious enough to do so. So we need to find somebody that is, if this is even a potential thing, somebody that is has nothing to lose, really.
No, there's a few I would like to throw in here, I'm sure, but none that you probably want to have the powers if they somehow succeed.
Like who?
Like the one we are unsure about, their allegiances.
Victor.
Cutting a rose bush.
Right. Her. She's... I'm trying to come up with a way to deal with that one. I have a feeling that she's going to be much the same as the other issues that we have with Camarilla. Set in old ways and unwilling to budge from them.
Oh, I'm sure. I am absolutely sure. They were not thrilled I was the one that was elected to be the Baron.
Yes. Well, the other options were the Hakata or Thin Bloods. So,
not in her mind. I'm assuming she wanted the people she dropped me with. Or one of them.
I would assume you mean Shiloh. She seems to be a little bit more there, knowledgeable.
She treats Shiloh like a pet.
Oh. Why does that not surprise me? And at this point, you walk up to the set of double doors. There is a large bar going across it. And he's like, just inside here is where we're going, by the way. Now, to let you know, this particular one, if you wish to actually talk to them, I highly doubt that they'll respond.
Given you said you think they're in torpor.
Right. They tend to go by the name Baron Samidi.
I see.
Yes. My sect found them in Haiti in the late 90s.
Things make sense now, I think.
Yes. I am the keeper because they've been looking for this particular one since we found them. And he reaches over, he scans his badge, and the bar slides back into the door, and doors swing out toward you. And inside you see just a large cage, very large, probably 40 feet by 40 feet. In the middle is the individual that you saw on the video feed. Like, now, by all means, step inside. I would keep at least 5 feet from the cage if I were you. In the off chance that it's not in torpor, they can do some pretty unsavory things.
I would imagine, given age and clan.
Yes. especially since they are the founder of a bloodline.
Yes, so I understand.
Now, and he kind of walks into the room, and you follow him, and he keeps talking for a minute until it kind of like starts fading out and kind of turning into the peanuts, like womp, 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 and then it gets quieter and quieter. Can I get you to make me a willpower and resolve roll?
What?
Yes, willpower and resolve.
You mean wits?
Resolve and composure, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. I know what I was trying to say.
Three successes?
Okay. Trying to see if you could have gotten 5, but nope.
I mean, theoretically, I have one black one I can reroll, and I crit on a red dice. So, like, high, very, very low potential.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't think I'm getting it.
There's no reason to spend willpower at this point. And as Cyril's voice kind of fades out, you know where you're at, and you autonomously move with them, and you kind of do laps. In the back of your mind, you're like, "Oh, hey there, child. You come visit me now."
And Tory respond?
You try to move your mouth, and you don't speak out loud. However, you can speak in your head.
You're not in torpor?
No, I'm not. It would be appreciated if you didn't tell that one to that fact. I like messing with him.
Please leave me alone.
No, it's fine. I'm not gonna hurt you. At least not tonight. Maybe later on. Now, what's your name?
Tory.
I assume you know my name, yes?
Baron Samedi.
Ah, good. Can I have you do me a favor?
I don't think I have much option in the matter.
I know I can't make you do anything. I don't have that one. I have other things. Can I get you to, when you leave here, go in the main control room and let me go?
No.
It's worth asking. Why? Just out of curiosity.
Why would I want to let you free?
So I can get out of here. Go home. I understand that what he's wanting to do, and I get it. Trust me, I do. But it ain't gonna work, and I don't like them tin bloods. You kind of smell like one, by the way. I would keep your distance from them. They kind of linger.
Right. Again, why would I want to release you? You're Antediluvians, Methuselah, you all just want to kill us all.
I mean, no, not necessarily.
You've already told me you are going to hurt me.
I said not tonight necessarily.
Tonight implies it will happen in the future.
Only if you try to hurt me. And if you let me
Right.
go, I owe you a favor.
Right. I do not want to let you out. No, I don't care about whatever power game he's playing. It's interesting, to be sure. I don't think it's going to work. But no.
That's fair. Is he still on about trying to have people eat me?
Yes?
Tell him to send in more of them Ventru and the Toreador. They taste better.
Right. So obviously you can hear.
Oh no. He's not talking loud enough for me to hear.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I know he sent in a bunch of random clans here and there.
Right. So are you going to keep me like this until I agree? Do I have no choice?
Oh no, I just want to talk to you. It's not going to keep you here.
Why me? What?
Because you're a new one. Figured I'd talk to you rather than the one I actually talked to multiple times.
Right.
Oh, by the way, when he goes to hand you the journal, go ahead and take it. It's a good read. Some weird Irish lady, or I think it was a lady, I don't know.
Sure. Sure.
Like I said, good read. Turned out she was a journalist, something like that. Decent writer. Weird individual though.
I'll take your word for it.
And like the things kind of fade back in. Like when you come back to, Cyril's kind of like staring at you and he's like, Tory? Tory, are you... Hello?
Like, fuck, I can talk now.
We need to leave.
Yes.
And he kind of grabs you, rushes you out the door, and like hits a lockdown button. And not only does the one metal rod come across, there's about 5 of them that come across. And then you hear a slight buzz and ticking, like it's electrified. It's like, you realize you were standing there not responding for like well over 2 hours, right?
Did not feel like that long, let me tell you.
Yeah, I assume so. So not in torpor. Got it.
Yeah, he wants out.
Yeah, I assume so. That's an issue.
Yes.
That is a very big issue.
Yes.
That 6 months might be moved up a little bit at this point if he's just sitting there.
According to him, what you're trying to do isn't going to work.
I mean, I'm sure that's just a fear tactic at this point.
Who knows?
I don't want to find out. So, anyway. And he kind of rushes you off to the elevator yet again. And you get back up to the level with all of the psychiatric workers. And he's like, Doctor, I'm going to need you to do a evaluation on Tory before she leaves. And you kind of look at the clock, and it's 4:30 in the morning at this point.
I mean, unless you want me to go meet the final dawn, I don't think I'm leaving tonight.
No, I didn't realize it was that late. I do apologize. Are you hungry?
I can handle it for now. It's not too bad.
I will go harvest some, and I'll have some brought to you while you're waiting. Again, I do apologize for what happened. We will get that taken care of.
I don't think you intended this.
Not at all. However, that is still an issue that we need to take care of. That being said, make yourself at home, Doctor. If you would please take care of her as well. While I go get what I gotta get.
Of course.
And Cyril kind of disappears for a little bit.
Doc will come over to Tory.
Well, that was sure an experience. What do you need to do?
Well, first, let's just start with a physiological exam. Are you experiencing any altercations to your vision or hearing?
No.
No headaches, neck aches, shoulder aches, or upper back pain to speak of?
I'm very, very tense right now, but not any pain.
I imagine I can understand that. Okay, well, I mean, you see, just by casual observation, you seem to be in control of your faculties.
Have you ever had someone speak directly into your mind?
I can't say that I have.
It is a very disconcerting experience, let me tell you.
Uh-huh. And has this happened before? I'm assuming this has not happened before for you, then? You can like see her like quickly school herself as she redirects her question.
Would Tory have experienced this before?
No, not at all.
Only downstairs.
Uh-huh.
For reference, the Doctor is not allowed downstairs and has never been allowed downstairs.
I figured she would not be. Uh-huh. And so no past history of psychosis or schizotypal diagnoses, no auditory or visual hallucinations, either prior to embrace or during embrace?
No.
Okay. I mean...
You can say what you're wanting to say or thinking, it's fine.
No. I have...
Shit is weird as fuck.
I will certainly take your word for it. As you can probably guess, I'm not allowed down there directly.
Good.
Let's see, are you experiencing any shakiness, tremors, unsteadiness, or dizziness at this point?
Just from stress.
Okay. No. Apologies for the questions, but he did say to evaluate you. No thoughts of. Well, I don't even know if Kindred can commit suicide at this point.
Yeah,
no
we
thought-
can go
no
walk
thoughts of
ourselves out to
suicide?
the sun, kind of.
But no sudden thoughts of suicide. No sudden urges to commit acts of harm against yourself or others.
So the beast always wants to hurt someone? Almost always?
No. Let me amend this. No otherwise unusual
No.
desires to hurt yourself or others. Particularly yourself. That's what I'm most concerned about. I understand I have to amend the typical mortal definitions of psychology and psychosis here. I'm doing my best, yes.
That's fine. I don't know how long you've been going at this. No.
Okay. Well, I believe you should be alright. Should you hear the voice again, or should either compounding stress or stress from this evening in particular interfere with your typical interactions, please seek help. You're welcome to come back here and talk to me.
Yeah, there's not many kindred psychiatrists.
A pity. I could write 1,000 theses on you guys.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
And right about that time, Cyril comes back and he's holding kind of like a pint glass full of a very thick, not quite red, more blackish liquid. It's like, drink it while it's fresh. It's not warm, but it is fresh.
The best time to have it. Take it. Cheers. And drink.
And unlike usual, you actually slake a hunker.
Huzzah!
Just one. Well, this isn't necessarily the best you've ever had. It is certainly vitae rather than blood.
Cool.
You have not, however, had this flavor before.
What is the flavor?
A bit spicy and kind of gamey.
Interesting.
I assume that's what a white would taste like.
Yep, let's go with that.
Doctor, everything check out?
Everything seems to be par for the course. She's obviously been shaken by whatever happened downstairs, but presents no immediate threat to herself or others beyond what is normal, I assume, for kindred of her persuasion. And I told her that should the voices happen again, or should she have trouble shaking memories of tonight's events, to please come back and see me.
Yes, absolutely. If you have any further issues regarding the events that happened downstairs, like, you're away from this particular facility and hear the voice again, let me know at the very least.
Let's hope not. I told him absolutely not what he wanted to hear. And let's hope I don't get hurt because of that. like was
Good
promised,
news.
probably.
Yes. Good news. Does not possess the ability to compel an individual or a kindred to do their
Yes,
bidding.
that's what he told me.
Yes. However, it does have the ability to create plagues.
Great.
So that's why we keep distance.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I cannot guarantee that you will not hear it again while here. So I don't know how long or how far away you have to be to sever that connection.
Let's hope it's not something I have to worry about often.
Correct. Now, as the sun is going to be coming up relatively shortly, within the hour, and it takes about 20 minutes to get out of the facility, and probably another 10 minutes to walk to your vehicle. That would leave you about a half an hour to get to your resting place for the day. I assume that you won't be able to make it by that point.
No.
Very well. We have facilities that you can take for today, at the very least, that are separate from mine as to not cause issues regarding that. If you want them, or you can take your chances elsewhere.
I don't think there's many places for me to go around here that aren't here, so I will suppose I have to trust you.
You can also lock the door here, so...
I'm sure you have keys, it won't do much.
Oh no, this particular room, once you're in there, you scan your badge and you're the only one that can open it. Besides me, of course. I have the master, however, I'm not going to invade your privacy, seeing as you are my guest, and that would be rude of me.
I have no gifts to offer unless you want some vitae.
I'm quite alright, thank you. Knowledge and relative cooperation, which you've been cooperative for me, is more than enough, more than I thought that I would get.
Expecting me to be the typical gangrel. That's fine. Most people do.
Oh no, I know better. You're not typical. I don't understand exactly why. You seem to have a bit of me in you, actually.
Yeah.
You tend to keep yourself together most of the time. However, the short temper is still there.
Only so much I can do.
So he leads you to another elevator. It's like if you just pick a floor, the entire floor is yours. I would not, however, pick anything above 2. They tend to have windows.
Yes, best to avoid those.
So you have 1, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5.
Whatever's more towards the middle. She wouldn't want to go too close to the bottom, given what happened.
Right. So S2, probably.
Sure.
Okay, so S2, you go to sub level 2. Very wide open area. There is a cot. Nothing special. There's a small sink there if you want to wash up or whatever.
I don't think she did too much. Probably wash up whatever blood didn't get cleaned up or whatever.
Okay. And you head off into your day sleep.
Very uncomfortably so.
Yes. And unlike usual, whereas typically you're dead to the world. This particular day's sleep is a bit of a whistle that kind of haunts you. You're not sure where it came from. You're not sure why it's there, but you know you've heard it before somewhere. And you awaken the next evening, and can I get everybody to make me a rouse check, actually?
Failed.
I'm good.
Success for Beth.
I just had to make sure the sound was set to go on the remade code rate page.
That's fair.
I'm hungry again. So who's hungry?
Fun. So, Stephen and Tory, you are, I believe, both at 2 hunger.
Yeah, Steven's at 2.
Beth and Shiloh, however, you're sitting pretty at 1, I believe. And Tory, you wake up and you get ready. You head out of the building and you turn your phone back on, I assume, realizing that you didn't have any service down there. And when you do, your phone just starts going nuts. There's multiple messages from Barney saying, "Call me when you get this." There's multiple messages from Steven and Beth. One saying, "Hey, I need a ride, come pick us up." Nothing from Shiloh. And there's also one from an unknown number, but it has Carissa's name in it at somewhere. You haven't fully read that yet. I assume the Barney message is more pressing.
Yep. So as long as service is okay, she would quickly call.
Now, Beth and Steven. You're just waking up, you're unbarring the door. Barney's in there and he's unbarring the door and his phone goes off. And you just hear a, "Oh, thank God. Tory, where have you been?"
I had a meeting with Cyril, and it unexpectedly ran longer than anticipated.
Okay, there's been some happenings. Come to the secret hideout, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a long
I'm surprised
story.
you know about that. I mean, not exactly, but it sounds like we're brought there.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened.
Okay, that sounds like a story. I saw messages from everybody else. Have we heard from Shiloh?
They're alive. I can tell you that.
That's good. I'm not sure what I have to finish here. I should be done soon.
Yeah, no, I'll try to get a hold of her here shortly, but yeah. Hurry up, please, if you can.
I will do my best.
And yes, Tory is nearly done doing just the minor checkout things, handing the badge back in. You hop in your car, you head out. Shiloh, at which point would you turn your phone back on?
She'd probably wait for just a little bit into the evening, but pretty soon. She'd probably wait like an hour after getting up and then turn it on.
Okay. So within that hour, apparently Barney sent you another message of come to the secret hideout if you know where it is. Tori is on her way. Would Shiloh do that?
Does she feel comfortable? Would she feel comfortable in it in enough time having passed?
Probably.
Yeah, I think she would. She's pretty anxious to get back to familiar territory, so.
Okay. Stephen and Beth, you kind of wait around, knowing that Tori is on her way. Turns out, Shiloh and Tori show up at about the same time. Not 100%, but within 5 minutes of each other. Tori showing up slightly beforehand. And then Shiloh. And at which point, Tori, you actually, during that time frame, you get to look at the text message that everybody else has read at this point. And it says, Carissa Hughes formally invites you to Elysium on it. It gives a specific day. She will discuss the terms of her praxis and expects all kindred in the city to attend. Refreshments will be served.
Well, someone's showing her true colors. Fuck.
Yeah, not only that, Stephen, what happened at your meeting?
Does anyone know who Cynthia is?
Shiloh just freezes absolutely stock still. Why? What's going on?
They should not go to Elysium, because Carissa may call a blood hunt against them.
I mean, theoretically, if things were followed, the blood hunt, the Elysium would keep them safe at least, but, interesting.
I believe something about one of her pets getting killed.
Tori will freeze and then look at Shiloh.
Oh, this can't get any worse. Tori, I have something for you.
Okay.
She's just gonna she doesn't even appear to be processing what's going on at all. She's just so absolutely stunned at everything that's been happening. She just shoves the bag at you with a note. It's Gregor asked me to give this to you.
Tori will freeze and just go stock still.
Yeah. Okay. Apparently everybody's had a rough night.
Great to the point where when Shiloh shoves the bag, she won't even grab it. It just probably falls.
He You said it was a gift from someone? Oh, fuck.
No,
does not even begin to cover it.
Yeah,
really?
There's other things too.
Like what?
What else could have happened?
Beth,
I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing happened with me. Everything went swimmingly.
Don't look at me. Don't look at. Don't lie to us. Don't lie to us. Don't do it.
I'm not lying. It could have gone better. Could have gone worse. Tory,
What happened?
you're the one who sent me there. I don't want to hear it.
Good.
Well, you're hearing it anyway.
Was I killed my sire, and I now work for the Giovanni. Amp and Dante's that have been paid. It's fine.
You what?
What do you mean, what? Do you hear me? I killed my sire.
I don't care about that part.
Giovanni now.
You work
Wait, you don't care
for the
care about
Giovanni.
that part.
Well, it was either that or turn Amp in and Dante in.
What?
Money laundering.
I can't say shit right now, so I'm trying to be reasonable about this. Work for the Giovanni in what capacity?
It's just laundering some money.
Oh.
It's nothing big.
Are you giving them information? Like what? There has to be something else.
No, just laundering money. They didn't want to deal with Nate anymore, so I killed Nate, and now I work for them doing what he did. Laundering money.
Right. Great.
I know this isn't a good time, but there is one more thing that happened.
Great!
That's it.
What else do you have to throw at us?
There were hunters coming after the harpy.
I'm sorry.
About that, I threw the harpy in a dumpster.
Okay, good for you. What was that about the hunters?
They came to the nightclub looking for the harpy and shot up the place. On the plus side, the harpy's still alive.
Are we
Yeah.
sure about that?
Is that a plus, really? Is that really a plus?
Oh, we won't have the cam coming after us.
Yeah, potentially. Could be.
We could have just blamed it on the hunters.
Or, hear me out here. Save that one so Savannah doesn't come and try to kick us
That's...
nuts.
I mean, we're already getting kicked in the nuts by the Camarilla, apparently.
Where did you see Gregor?
Okay, so, y'all remember... Barney, I'm gonna need you to back me up on this. You remember that we discovered that Carissa's pet ghoul was feeding information to the cam, yes? You remember that?
Yes.
He was leaking information about our coterie specifically. And also me. And Gregor somehow got involved with the Camarilla and volunteered to come back here to deal with me. But then he saw you and I were running together and he got interested.
I fucking bet he did.
He said he said if I laid low for 3 days and then gave that to you, he'd get the Portland cam off my back. So I took a chance. Didn't really have many other options. Beyond that, look what happened to Dennis.
What happened with Dennis?
I went there to get the information that he stole from me. And Gregor was waiting. With a couple of lackeys, one of which happened to be former Second Inquisition, by the way. That's the name I gave you, by the way. And so we had a little 20 questions. And then when I had no interest in killing Dennis, he took it upon himself to make one of his lackeys do it. And then I panicked because they did it with fire.
Gregor was the high priest of my old pack.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. I thought he was dead.
Well, he's obviously not because he wanted me to give you that. I don't really know what that is, by the way.
Tory will bend down and pick it up from the ground.
It's not a very big package. A little bit bigger than like a notepad, but not a whole lot. It kind of feels like an actual book of some sort.
Okay. She will begrudgingly open the note.
The note is actually written in German,
Okay.
which Tory knows, correct?
Tory can read that.
Okay. It basically says, "Have fun with a gift. Surprised that you're still kicking around here. Also, figured you'd want the keepsake that I put in there." And then it's just like in very fancy calligraphy, Gregor.
There is visible strain in not crumpling the note immediately upon reading it. Folds it back up. Opens the bag and looks inside of it.
Okay. First thing that strikes you is very shiny, glinty thing in the bottom. Second thing is an actual like notebook. Small, leather bound. Looks to be a bit older in age. Not necessarily like ancient, but definitely 50, 60 years old.
Pull out whatever is glinting at the bottom.
You pull it out, and you immediately recognize it as your sire's personal pendant. It's just a silver locket.
Click it open, but kind of hide it so no one sees what's in it.
Yeah. I will tell you what's in it later.
Okay.
However, it is 100%. It's
Right. Put that back in the bag. Is the pouch large enough to, like, flip the book open? Not fully read it, obviously, but, like, figure out what's inside of it?
not quite.
Is there a title on the front? Or is it just a journal-like book?
It is just a journal-like book.
Okay. Is there any other debacles that we need to fix? Or figure out? Surprisingly, my time with Cyril was probably more tame than all of yours. Probably.
Oh?
There's a lot going on there, but not immediately a threat.
I mean, aside from the weird vision quest I went on, mine was pretty tame too. The
I don't think hunters shooting up a place would be tame.
Hey Barney, do you think the hunters are still going to be an issue now that the harpy's gone?
50-50. I don't know.
Is the harpy gone, though, with Elysium apparently happening?
I mean, it's like 4 hours away that they can make their way over.
Also, I should probably mention this, just so we're all on the same page. The reason Dennis was betraying us to the Camarilla is because they promised to make him the sheriff, and he wanted Carissa under his heel.
That's a little humorous, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I can't blame him at this point.
Yeah, we should probably talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Who here knows what praxis is? Show of hands, come on. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, so, praxis is basically saying some Camarilla jerkwad comes in and says, this is mine now, and then they start putting up, like, their council, as it were. Saying, I own the city. That's not good.
She's basically declaring herself back to the Camarilla and that she was running the entire city and fuck all of us.
Yeah, that.
She wants to be Prince of Atlanta. Fuck.
Kind of makes everything else that has happened seem not that bad in comparison.
Beth. The Giovanni are working with the Camarilla.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Joey told me.
So how is that not as bad? Because that means by proxy, you are working, and now we are working for the Camarilla.
We're not dead.
I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about any of this.
We're not dead. Do you know what a blood hunt is?
Yes, I know what a fucking blood hunt
Not
is!
you, Beth!
Yeah.
Of course you know what it is.
Yeah, I do know that bit. Thanks.
So one of us might be dead.
I mean, the name's kind of self-explanatory.
Okay, just making sure that you were brought in the loop here.
Except it's probably a lot deeper than you think. We've talked about diablerie, right?
What now?
The consuming of a kindred to the point where you absorb what they can do.
Remember when I said eating other kindred is typically considered in poor taste? Pardon the pun. Remember that?
Yeah, it's kind
That's
of
why.
weird.
A blood hunt legalizes
Why would you want to eat another kindred?
A blood hunt legalizes that. For the one kindred being hunted.
Oh, great.
Legalizes. In lack of a better term. It encourages everyone to hunt them down. To subsume them so they can get their abilities.
So,
Yes.
Purge Night, but for against one vampire.
Yes.
What'd you say?
Purge Night, but for one vampire.
I guess. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's this whole thing where, like, you can do whatever you want and murder is legal and all this fun stuff.
Oh,
It's
the Sabbat.
Sorta, yeah. But yeah, no, what makes it even worse is Shiloh has special blood, so people want it anyway. Shiloh is Cynthia.
Okay.
And I believe there was somebody else in that particular blood hunt roundup too, right?
Another person?
Yeah, somebody that Samal.
Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah, that's that shadow dude. That
Yep, that's my friend. I'm gonna find him very, very soon for this.
yeah. So Yeah, no. Good news. Me, Red, and Franny, we're not going to be part of that crap.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I would really fucking hope not.
Yeah. I assume that the other Barons probably won't be part of that.
Who knows?
Well, let's put it this way. Dante and Johnny. No.
Yeah, they weren't the ones I was concerned with.
Yeah.
I don't know where Victor's loyalties lie. He's already made it clear he doesn't like us. So how much of that will he follow Carissa for?
All of it.
Victor's loyalties lie with Victor. He doesn't really give a damn about anybody else.
Right, but there's still... What's the better choice with him here? Sticking with 2 Gangrel, and a Nosferatu, and a Malkavian, or with Carissa and whatever power she brings.
Yeah. That's the issue there. You might be surprised, but I believe Kamari's probably going to have a whole lot more sway in that than you
Kamari's
expect.
his pet. He's not going to listen to him.
Kamari is still his brother.
Who's bloodbound to him?
Loosely, but yeah.
Enough that it's very noticeable.
So, yeah. Now we'll, I'll get some feelers out on that.
Please do. I doubt the Thin Bloods will be able to dig anything up, but maybe I'll hear something from them.
Yeah. That's a fun time. Anyway, what happened with Cyril? Anything we should know about?
Did Cyril ask her not to say anything?
No. He didn't.
Okay. So he's got a, Methuselah in his basement.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah. Baron Samedi. Who might not be in as much torpor as he thought he was.
Great.
At least, there is very well done precautions. If he was to get out. But that's a problem that's gonna come back at some point. Probably won't be too much of an issue for too long. But, yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Like, I don't know. Embracement Factory or whatever.
No, he didn't seem to be interested in that.
No, good. So not Sabat, probably.
Ex-Sabat.
Okay, well, it's fair.
This is Mitzi. I didn't expect too much different.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking, too. He's hard to find things on.
I would imagine so. Very old.
Yeah, I assume so. Probably not as old as Carissa. He's old as shit.
Late 1800s.
Yeah, not quite. Close, but not quite. So we've got 2 blood hunts, money laundering, hunters, and a Methuselah.
Yeah. we're gonna be in for a rough time.
Yeah. Something tells me whatever's going to be coming next is... you better start puckering now, because it's coming fast and it's coming hard.
Mm-hmm.
Tory will turn to Shiloh.
To the best of my ability, I will not let anything happen to you.
Can we talk privately?
Yes. Now or later.
No.
Okay.
To the basement, I guess, or outside.
Yeah, Barney would turn to the other two and be like, alright kids, come on.
Yeah, sure, I need to get out of this dress anyways.
And they head outside. Dolly is still there in one piece.
What did you want to talk about?
Just a couple contingency plans. I'm sick and tired of my shit bringing other people's shit.
We all have that.
But this is me attempting to be a little bit smarter about things. Because I'm sick and
Understandable.
fucking tired of running. 2 things. Number 1. At my apartment, there is a laptop. It has backup conversations of... It has backups of conversations, just all sorts of data that has recorded my time in Atlanta and everything that I've been working on, including my attempts to find information on...
You cut out at the end there. If you're okay, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The file on my laptop has all the sorts of data that have been recorded since I came here to Atlanta. Should the worst come to pass, please make sure that that file gets sent to Franny. She'll know what to do with it.
Okay.
Second thing. If it looks like the blood hunt will put the coterie in more danger than it's worth, I want you to give me the final death. I don't care if you eat me. I don't care if you push me out into the sunlight. I don't care if you stake me. I don't want to give them the satisfaction of my death. You're the only one I would trust.
I understand, and I promise if it does come down to that, I will respect your wishes. However, I will probably also be going down if that's the case, because I will not let them have you for no reason.
Understandable.
That's
to be
how
clear,
I
this is
am.
not... Yeah. To be clear, this is not me. This is not a suicide pact. I'm not going down without a fight either.
I assumed so. I just wanted you to be fully aware that, like, I protect those I don't want to say all mine, because you're not mine to own, but I think you understand the meaning.
Thanks.
But if it comes down to that, then I will do my best to respect your wishes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Meanwhile, outside. So do you two know what a Methuselah is?
Nope.
That's the thing that turns people into stone in Greek mythology, right?
No, that's a Gorgon.
Or Medusa.
Yeah, it's a Gorgon.
Made of tomato.
Yeah, no. A Methuselah is a really, really old one that, like, beginning of a bloodline.
So really powerful then.
Yeah, really old. So, it's bad news.
Sometimes.
I would urge you to get your ducks in a row. Also, as far as the whole Elysium thing, you can do what you want, but I would go with Tory's lead on this one.
Sure.
Don't go blindly into the thing. How Elysium works. Go ahead and ask your question.
So, since Shiloh just said that Dennis was going to try to, in a sense, overthrow Carissa, can't we just try to reason with Carissa? Or would it just not matter because, not we, but we still killed her pet?
I mean, you can try. You ever tried to reason with a brick wall?
Sometimes it's easier just to smash the brick wall.
Exactly. Carissa might be a rose, but she's a rose-colored brick wall is what she is. Now, as far as the Elysium thing, let's get one thing perfectly clear for you two. On the way there, on the way back, anything can happen. While you're at Elysium, you're guaranteed safety. No using disciplines, powers, abilities, sorcery, none of that. All are welcome. Doesn't matter what your clan is, your pack, your sect, it doesn't matter. So technically speaking, Shiloh can show up and be completely safe there. However, the second that she steps foot outside of there might be an issue. Which is why I say follow Tory's lead. Might be a good idea in this particular instance. An extra bit of muscle for Shiloh, because we all know that Shiloh's about as strong as wet paper. Yeah. Sharp as attack. Wind blows hard enough, she'll fall over.
No. I'll help Tory. I'll be taking care of her, don't worry.
I'm gonna leave. Let Tory and Shiloh know when they get out here that all they gotta do is call me. I've got a couple people to get a hold of. See if I can get some help. Feel like we might need it coming up.
Good luck rallying the troops.
Yeah, really, it's like 3 of them. But those 3, that's all we need. Trust me. Then he walks off down the street. And about that time, Tory and Shiloh, assume you come out of the house?
Where's Barney?
He just left. He went to go talk to some people.
Speaking of, I need to go see Samal.
Barney else
Best of luck.
can do anything, give him a call.
Oh, could you do me a favor?
Sure.
Could you give him back his sword, please? He just kind of left it with me.
He gave you his sword?
He did.
Yep.
Could you make sure he gets it back, please?
Absolutely. Bad
Thank
things
you.
will happen if he doesn't.
Yeah, I figured.
I am honestly shocked. Let me go get this back to him. Especially in light of circumstances.
Yeah.
I will actually probably have service until I get into his actual haven if you need me. And I won't be gone a full day again. Night again.
Alright, so split up from here.
Yeah, Tori's gonna go see Samal.
Okay. Is Steven going to do anything special?
No, Steven's just gonna head right home.
Okay. How about Beth?
Beth will take anybody home that wants to ride home, and then try to find Gramps. Kind of put him off. For a little while, he wanted to have a conversation, and then shit hits fans, so.
Okay. And then Shiloh. Is Shiloh doing anything special?
No, probably not.
Okay.
She's not really
So-
sure what to do right now.
That's fair. So, starting at Beth, you find Gramps at the shop. Kind of turns to you and says, "Oh, I was looking for you. Where you been?"
Hiding in the basement, and Beth is gonna walk around him and like check him out head to toe, make sure he's unscathed.
No, he looks mostly put together. He said, "That was something last night. I don't think I've ever been kidnapped before. That was fun."
Yeah, I'm very, very sorry that happened to you. I did what I had to get you back. I'm glad that you're safe. Did they feed you? Please tell me they fed you.
I mean, they didn't hurt me. Picked me up and dropped me off a couple hours later. It's no big deal.
Son of bitches. Alright, well, at least you're okay. She still doesn't fully trust he's okay and will continue to double check him.
Yeah, no, he's fine. So about that talk.
Yes, I'm so sorry that it kept getting pushed off.
No, it's fine. Couple things. How often do we have to do the whole like blood thing?
Once a week-ish, I believe.
Okay. Secondly, I know this sounds like an odd request, but is there any way to like make it work better that you know of? I mean, if not, it's fine, but
There is. I was trying to keep it a little on the lower side, but if you want it better, we can up it.
I mean, at least for now, to kind of get the sickness to go away faster.
Sure, of course, that makes sense.
Turns out the treatment's working exceedingly well. They said if it progresses this way that it has been, about 2 months I'll be clear-ish. I want to see if I can get it within a month.
Always good to have goals. Yeah, we'll work on this, Gramps. We got this.
Yeah. And then I've got other questions about, like, all of you, but, I mean, those can wait. They're not super pressing right now.
Are you sure? I don't mind.
No, it's just, like, different types of you. I'm sure there's not just, like, one specific type.
That's correct. There's several different kinds.
Well, I'm not doing anything tonight. Do you have any plans?
No, I have no plans other than getting out of the stress, fixing it slightly, and eventually getting it to somebody else who wants it, apparently.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I can sew and talk at the same time.
Yeah, let's go ahead and have that talk, since you don't have a whole lot going on. And at that point, he kind of lets you change out and get dressed and get your stuff together, and you all kind of spend the evening talking about different types of kindred, different clans, different abilities. And then Tory.
While she's walking to the tunnels that will lead to Samal's place, she is going to be flipping through the book.
Okay. The front of the book give me an intelligence and occult roll, please. You would know of this particular, like, clan symbol. I'm just trying to figure out how readily obvious it is.
Probably not much, given I have 2 successes. I could spend willpower.
Do you want to spend willpower?
Yes.
That's almost up, so.
Yes. Gross, only 3.
Okay, so you would at least know what this symbol is and what it means. It is a theoretical bloodline that the Tremere once messed with. However, inside it has blood sorcery things. And, like, theoretical discipline how-tos. One of which is a way to preserve and revitalize blood in kindred vitae. Another is how to basically make your skin into chameleon skin. And then there is one on down the line that basically says, or that is basically like a theoretical how to make your skin into stone while still having it malleable.
Oh boy.
Would you care to guess as to what the symbol is?
Oh, I know what the symbol is.
Okay. Maybe because we've talked about it before.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's bringing the bag with her. Obviously, but she's bringing the necklace as well. On her way to see Samal.
Okay. You make it to his haven. He is not there. How long are you wanting to wait?
She would probably wait 45 minutes to an hour before probably trying to go seek him out if he's not back.
Okay. So right as you're getting up, the door opens. I assume that you don't have a candle or
No,
a light
just her
of any
red
sort?
eyes.
Okay. He opens the door and he's like, "Why are you in here?"
A lot has happened, and one, I have your sword. Two, there's
Where is Shiloh?
back with the coterie. I'm not sure where she is at this exact second.
She is safe for the most part.
For now.
Tory will pull out her phone, dim the brightness down, and read off the text.
He kind of laughs a little bit and he's like, "That pompous." Anyway.
Oh, there's more. There is a blood hunt out, or will be a blood hunt, for her and for you.
He gives a big belly laugh and he's like, "Let them come. There is no kindred in the city that can fight me."
And if they come
And
outside
win.
of the city,
Let them. There's not a whole lot that I stay alive for. I stay alive to keep you safe, to keep your friends safe. Not much more.
Gregor's here.
I'm sorry, what?
She will take the bag out and dump the locket on, I'm assuming there's a table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave a bag to Shiloh to give to me.
He was in the compound.
He talked to her and apparently played a questions game.
Then you see him kind of like grab the table. And he's like, "If you wish to not lose any of that, move it."
Grab it up.
And he takes the table and he throws it against the wall and he just shatters it.
Yeah. Yes, I had to deal with learning everything that happened tonight on top of being given this.
Is that Charles's?
Yes.
I know it wasn't your favorite, but receiving that is still, there's got to be some sort of sentiment.
Sullied by this.
And she'll show him the book.
And he kind of flips through it and he's like, "I don't understand any of this, but I assume you do."
It's what they tried to do to me, but yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So he's still playing the game of trying to do it, but not having an active part.
Yep.
Good. Good.
There's
to know
hunters
this.
here. There's hunters. There's a Methuselah. And apparently Beth's
Methuselah.
working for the Giovanni.
That one I don't care so much about, but the Methuselah.
Yep. Yeah, Cyril has him.
Oh, great. The dragon has him part of his horde.
Sounds like, yeah.
Wonderful. Can I have my sword back?
Oh, she would have handed it to him immediately.
He lashes it to his belt. You know I have to go find Gregor, right?
Small. One, we don't even know where he is now. And we need to figure out what's going to happen. Obviously, he's going to be at this Elysium.
Yes, and if I'm already going to be subject to blood hunt, I might as well make it worthwhile. I don't even know what I did.
I have no idea either. I don't understand where that came from.
It's not like I ate anybody. It's
Except
been
Gregor.
many years. Yes. It's been many years since I've done that. Oddly, I only go after criminals now. Mortal criminals, ones that mug and like to cause pain to others.
I'm not surprised by that.
So it's I try to be good. Trying to be good apparently gets you nowhere. Still.
I don't think it's that. I think it's some game she's playing that we don't have the answers to yet. She wanted to talk to you very badly before. It seemed. So I'm wondering if that was something she was planning with this.
Perhaps. Perhaps I give her a visit. Under a friendly circumstance and let her explain.
Would you like some company?
No, I'll set one up between me and her in a public place.
Let me know you're okay after, if you are, please.
She cannot hurt me. Even as a Toreador, she cannot hurt me.
You never know what she's going to pull. Obviously.
This is true. I'll be safe.
I need to know you will be. Especially with Gregor here right now. Please.
Yes. Gregor, and apparently there's another harpy around.
Yeah. Yep, that's the one the hunters are after.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. They shot up and maybe set fire to the building that Steven went to meet the Harpy at.
Is he okay?
Seemed like it, yeah. Barney was with him.
Do you want me to find the hunters?
It would be good to know where they are, but they are not exactly the height of my concern if they were not after us.
I can find their location. Perhaps you can reason with them to go after a different target.
Potentially. They don't often like to just talk, though.
Well, that's why you send in one of the ones that can make them talk.
True enough.
Or
Please
ones
just
that
stay
are...
safe.
You know I will be. Now, next time you talk to Shiloh, tell her leave a note next time.
I will.
Showing up and she was gone worried me. However, at least she left the books. I got them back to Winfield.
Romance books? Really?
Was not for me.
I see that now. I see that now. Thank you for taking care of her.
You asked, so I did.
Yeah. Ironically, Carissa was the one that got us working together.
Sometimes those that wish us harm give us the best weapons.
Indeed they do.
And he kind of goes over, lights his little hurricane lamp, and he pulls out his book from underneath his bed, his religious text. He's like, if you would please excuse me, I have matters to attend to.
Of course. Let me know if you need anything.
I will leave it in your upstairs apartment. The
Okay.
mailbox to it. And he kind of bids you like good evening. And he opens the book and he starts going through it. Not reading out loud, but definitely reading it.
She will leave him to it.
And we will end our session there.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yes. Have a good night.
Good dreams.
We appreciate you all for joining us in our Vampire Chronicle. With our after-game care concluded, us here at Total Party Krit thank you for all of your views, likes, and follows. If you have any questions for a resident vampirist or storyteller, please drop them in a comment below or in any of our social media. Links to those and our Discord will be down below. The world is a crazy place, so stay safe, and we hope to see you again.